Why do you think that there was such, and I don't want to use a term that overstates it, but there are an awful lot of people who didn't like it. More people were unhappy, I think, with the bill, the health care bill, than were happy with it. Why do you think that? Because
the loud minority made a lot of noise. Now that the legislation passed, it's amazing how much different people's attitude is. I mean, traveling on an airplane, people are so nice to me. We have people, and it wasn't that way before. We have people coming, sending me notes in church. You know, I have a disabled daughter. Thank you very much for taking care of her. I mean, people have changed already. Even the Republicans have changed their tune. I was in Salt Lake doing some church business this past weekend, and it was interesting. The newspapers up there in the conservative bastion of America, Utah, even the Republican leaders up there are saying, well, we don't want to change the things that are already in effect. What we want to do is try to improve some of the things that are going to happen later. So everybody acknowledges, with rare exception, that what we did with our immediate deliverables are terrific. And if there's some problems in the out years, we'll be happy to take a look at that. You know, that's such a different sort of concept I have. You know, now I realize I'm with Fox News, and you know, so maybe people come up to me who are unhappy with it more. But when I was in Boston, which is such a huge Democratic state or city, and of course Massachusetts Democratic state, people were coming up to me. And they'd say, I've been a Democrat my whole life. My entire family's been Democrat. I've never voted Democrat. I am so mad at what the Democrats are doing in Washington on this health care and on the stimulus bill. I'm voting Republican, and sure enough, you got a new United States Senator, a Republican. So I heard the opposite. Well, first of all, Massachusetts was a totally unique state. They already have the health care. They were afraid we were messing with their health care. Most states don't have, they have no health care. And we don't need to get into what happened in the campaign. It wasn't all health care. We had a few other problems. And without denigrating the campaign or anything of that nature, it was... what, you mean Coakley? I thought she ran a good campaign. The people of Massachusetts didn't agree. And well, actually, she was up 19 points on December 20th. Until she came back from her 3-week vacation? No, I'll tell you what happened, I think, is you met with Senator Ben Nelson and gave the Nebraska deal, because that's what, when I was up in Massachusetts in early January, they were absolutely furious about the Nebraska deal. I think that sunk her. Well, perhaps. Because it's hard to lose that many points. But remember, the Nebraska deal was terrific for our country. Why do I say that? Because now everybody has a Nebraska deal. Every state in the union has a Nebraska deal. I don't think that, I mean, I think that maybe, I don't think a lot of people feel like you do, Senator, on that. I think there are a lot of people who are disturbed about the fact that on the eve of the vote, that two United States senators meet, and, you know, President Obama had promised transparency, and so all of a sudden Senator Ben Nelson walks out and he suddenly says, I'm going to vote on this, and it wasn't your promise on transparency, I might add. It was President Obama's. I'm going to vote on this, and I got a special deal for my state. And all the other states are just standing around saying, well, what about us? Well, do you think it would have been better that I just let the bill fail? I don't. You're speechless, most of you. Speechless? I don't think, this is the way it appeared to the American people, is that this senator, Senator Ben Nelson, was for sale. That's the way it looked like, and that it was a sale, the price that all the other American taxpayers are paying for, and nobody understood, even many people in Nebraska didn't understand, like, why he got this. Greta, let me say this. I know that Fox loves to berate anything that's Democratic in nature, but let me just say this. Ben Nelson is an honorable man, really a good senator. He represents his state extremely well, and Ben Nelson and I worked on a number of issues. We, of course, worked on the Medicaid issue. He is former governor of the state. He understands it very well. And I knew that if I got this for Nebraska, by the time this legislation got out of the Senate, I would have it for everybody. And that's what happened. And I'm totally comfortable with that. Well, number one, two things. No one ever said that right after he walked out. There was an awful long time before we heard about everybody else getting this. That was the first thing. The second thing is, I was actually quite surprised that Senator Ben Nelson didn't come out and say to his constituents, what are you complaining about? I got you something that no one else got. Now, that may have alienated everybody else. I was a little surprised about that myself. I thought, and the fact that he came out so weak and was sort of with his hat in his hand made me even more suspicious as to, like, you know why he wasn't, because I would have thought, I would have expected a different advocacy for it than the one he gave. Well,
and I thought that added to sort of like, what's up?
I said, Ben, if I'd gotten that for Nevada, I would have yelled it from the rooftops. He didn't, and that's the decision that he made.
Why did he get that? If you thought this way, everybody was going to get it that day when you met with Senator Ben Nelson, why didn't you offer it to everybody?
Because I didn't have it for everybody at that time. I thought I could get it as we moved along in the legislation, and I did.
And so you're telling me that when Ben Nelson got that, when the two of you sat down together, you said, Ben, we'll do it this way. We'll say Nebraska's got it now. Obviously, my words. Nebraska's got it now, but after we get this passed, we're going to go for everybody?
No.
Okay. Explain it to me.
He got this for himself. He wanted it. I said to myself, good. That's a way I can help Medicaid in Nevada and the rest of the country. And that's what I did.
I'm getting sick.
But I didn't trumpet it to my other senators. But by the time we finished this, with our meetings in the White House and other places, everybody got it.